wizard. Beware his powers! Unspeakable powers! You know, that song should be my theme song. But of course, I can only use it when I'm reviewing fantasy stuff. As the great and powerful Oz, right? Anyway, folks, all that aside, for those of you who are going to be asking me, yes, I have seen the trailer to a fantasy series I heard of called Emerald City. It's supposed to take place at Oz, and I mean the Wizard of Oz, not that prison series that I heard so much of, but I don't like prison movies. I have no interest in watching any prison movies. Not at all. So, I mean, what I think about this new series called The Emerald City, where it's supposed to be about Dorothy going through her adventures of Oz. One thing I gotta say about that series, Emerald City, no, I don't like it. I mean, it's not sticking to the original novel from L. Frank Baum. It's just they decided to mix up the entire story to make it very interesting. But why can't anybody ever make the series based more like the books, like they did with Harry Potter, huh? That's what I want to know. Or at least do a movie based from the book Wicked. I mean, they did enough Broadway plays, musical plays of it. Why not do a movie about the Wicked? I mean, I've seen the play itself online. But the problem is not many people go to Broadway plays because they don't have enough money to see it. Or it's too far for them to go to see it. So, my judgment on the Emerald City, I don't think I'll like it. I mean, they're making the wizard turn out to be the bad guy, and so is the evil witch, and of course making her friends, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the Lion, just normal human beings. Well, of course, making the Tin Man be like a steampunk cyborg, while the Lion is some kind of knight with a lion's hide on him. And Scarecrow, well, she just found him covered in tar and hay. I don't like it at all. So, I think Emerald City, I'll pass it, because I don't think it's that interesting. But I do like Return to Oz. It's better. And my thoughts on Oz the Great and Powerful. James Franco did a good job. I just wish he didn't have to act too cocky about it. I mean, act too cocky of his character. I mean, I know he's like a con artist, but he ain't extremely cocky about it. I mean, he's a humbug, but still. And I just don't think much on Mila Kunis as a Wicked Witch. I mean, she tries to do that thing, but no. And even though she looks buxom in that outfit, but still. I mean, I like Mila Kunis. She's pretty and hot. And really funny. It's just her as the Wicked Witch of the West? No. But enough with the Oz situation. Let's get to the situation I'm going to review to you today, folks. Now, what would happen if you cross over Disney with another certain franchise? And no, I'm not talking about the video game Infinity. I never played the game Infinity because I don't have enough money for the games or these little action figures you put in these little portals so you can play those characters. I just think they're silly. And besides, I bet those suckers are like so expensive you have to spend all your money for all these figurines for you to play with. And I heard about Disney they own Marvel and Star Wars. But, eh. But I'm talking about a better crossover video game franchise that Disney crossover with. And it's a video game I love playing. I mean, I know I haven't reviewed any video games lately, so I decided to start reviewing a video game that I really love. And this is what happens if Disney and the Japanese video game company Square Enix crosses over and make the most awesome Japanese Disney video game. I know I should have reviewed it on Asian Month, but I think it's better to review it here. And the video game I'm reviewing for you today, folks, is Kingdom Heart. Now, folks, Kingdom Heart was a really good game. I mean, you play this little boy here named Sora. Now, Sora, he lives in this island called Destiny's Island with two of his best friends, a teenage boy named Riku and a young girl named Kairi. But since these shadowy evil creatures called Heartless, they start destroying his homeland, start destroying his world, Destiny Island. So now he ends up in this place called Travel Town, where refugee people from their world has been destroyed. They get stuck, end up in this world. Well, at the same time, Donald Duck and Goofy, that's right, and Goofy here, discovers that Mickey Mouse, their king from King Disney, figured out that Mickey Mouse had disappeared. So now, Donald and Goofy, they need to find their King Mickey. And of course, King Mickey told them that they need to find the key bearer. Now, who's the king bearer? It's Sora. And of course, why he's a king bearer? Because he carries this sword shaped like a huge key called the Keyblade. Now, you might think the Keyblade is pretty much really funny to have, but one thing that's really neat about it is it can be used for a sword, and it can also be used as a magic wand, and it can magically lock up portal doorways from other dimensions. And one thing that's really neat about that game, you can go to all different types of worlds, different Disney dimension-based worlds. You can go to the Jungle World and meet Tarzan, go to Halloween Town, where Nightmare Before Christmas is at, and meet Jack Skellington. You can go to Agrabah and meet Aladdin and Genie. Go to Neverland, meet Peter Pan. I mean, you can meet all sorts of Disney characters, and you can have the Disney characters join with you on your journey. I mean, you have Donald and Goofy to join with you, but sometimes when you want to have another character with you, you have to choose which of them will go and which one would stay, and I always choose Donald, and Goofy has to stay. Because, according to the game, Goofy, he's like a guard. He's like a night guard, so he's only good with the shield he carries, and he knocks bad guys out with his shield. While Donald, on the other hand, he's a wizard. Not as powerful, but he can summon lightning and so forth. And they go through this whole entire journey, and Sora's destiny is to use his Keyblade, go through the entire adventures, make friends throughout the entire dimension, and all he has to do is use his Keyblade to lock up all the different dimensions that he went through. Now, why I mentioned about keys, that's why last review I said I am the key to a better comic, Trinity. Well, since it involves keys, I think I should talk about Kingdom Heart. So, why the heck not? And since it's a fantasy, I'm the Wizard of Oz. So, now, while I was so hooked on Kingdom Hearts, tell you a little secret. I beat the first game. True, I beat the first game. And it had such a touching ending, it just makes me want to cry. Yeah, believe it or not, a Disney Square Enix video game has such touching songs and touching endings, it made me want to cry. Tears of joy because it has a good ending. So, I mean, heck, every time when I hear the theme, every time I hear some of the songs from Kingdom Hearts, I always get a tear trickling down my face. And don't call me a wuss, I'm just emotional, okay? Now, I was surprised when they decided to make this. Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, it doesn't begin with Sora this time. It begins with this kid here, Roxas. And of course, in this sequel, you don't battle against just the Heartless. You battle these hollowed shells who call themselves the Nobodies. They were once Heartlesses, but they're just a hollowed shell with no heart. And they're being controlled by a group of hooded characters who calls themselves the Organization 13. Oh, and the bad guy who is responsible for the Heartless, his name is Ansem. And believe it or not, Billy Zane did the voice of Ansem in the first game, but sadly not in the second game. And of course, you'll be meeting some more characters, more Disney characters on the way. And of course, you'll be seeing the most powerful wizard of all, Yansid. For those of you who don't know who Yansid is, he's the sorcerer from Fantasia Sorcerer Apprentice. And not many people know Yansid means Disney spelled backwards. So pretty much the powerful wizard is actually Disney. Walt Disney, that is. In this one, you'll see the old classic black and white Disney cartoons that you get yourself into. And you go to the Lion King's world and meet Pumbaa and Timon. And surprisingly, you can also go to the Pirates of the Caribbean world and meet Captain Jack Sparrow, savvy? I love doing Captain Jack Sparrow. But one thing it did bother me, though. Goofy turns out to be the most smart one of the group. He's more of a common sense smart. That's what Goofy is. And he said that Jack Sparrow and Sora are pretty much alike. So, So, Sora and Jack Sparrow are pretty much alike. And of course, I remember that Jack Sparrow wanted Sora's Keyblade. And of course, you discover that the bad guy, his real name's not really Ansem. He just took a wise, smart scientist wizard named Ansem. But the bad guy's real name is Yansid. And now, he's a nobody. And he's the head of the Organization 13, who goes by another name of Xemnas. So now, Sora has to meet up with Kairi and Riku, along with Mickey and Donald. Oh, and also, you can also meet Final Fantasy characters. I forgot to mention that. In the first game and on the second game, you'll meet Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. You'll meet Scroll from Final Fantasy, I guess 8. Something like that. And you also would meet tons of other Final Fantasy characters for those of you who are Final Fantasy fans. I tried a few Final Fantasy games, but I just never could catch up to them. I mean, some of the games are interesting, but I never had a chance. And I also have a theory in this game, like why does Jack Sparrow want the Keyblade? Well, for those of you who haven't seen all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the last one is, but the rest is really good. And now I hear there's a new one coming, and I hope this one turns out good. Anyway, a theory is, in the second game, he heard about Davy Jones. You know, the bad guy. The one who always says, "The fair death, Jack Sparrow. You'll have a debt to pay, and it's time to pay up." Heck, I can also do a good Barbossa. And thirdly, the code is more like guidelines than actual rules. Welcome aboard the Black Pearl, Miss Turner. Yeah. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, the theory was, in this second movie, Jack Sparrow was looking for a key to open a chest, a dead man's chest, and that's Davy Jones's heart. So that's why in the second game, Jack Sparrow wants Sora's Keyblade. Since Sora's Keyblade can open and lock any door or any treasure chest, that's why Jack Sparrow wants Sora's Keyblade, so he doesn't have to look for the real key to open up the dead man's chest, so he can take over Davy Jones's pirates. Makes sense to me. Heck, I even drew a picture of it. This is what I would imagine if Captain Jack Sparrow has a Keyblade, savvy? I am Captain Jack Sparrow, and I am the new key bearer, savvy? You know, I hope the new Kingdom Hearts game I heard that is coming soon, that this time Jack Sparrow has a Keyblade himself. Since he is a lot like Sora, he has the rights to have a Keyblade. Don't you? I think so. A lot handier than his usual cutler. Ahoy, Sir Savvy. I am Captain Jack Sparrow, and I am the key bearer. Now let's open up the dead man's chest and get Davy Jones's heart. You'll dare to get my heart, Jack Sparrow. In order to do one thing there, Davy Jones. That's what I would imagine. With a little help of Sora, Donald, and Goofy. All right there, Jack. Hang on, Captain. That's my Sora impression. Hang on there, Captain. But of course, it's been voiced by other people, so I can't catch up. Now, I heard on Game Boy Advance, they made a new Kingdom Hearts game called Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory. But sadly, I couldn't afford a Game Boy Advance, so I couldn't find the game and play it. But I was really happy when they decided to make this for PlayStation 2. Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memory. It's like a remake, but for the PlayStation 2 version. Oh, and for those of you who are going to be asking me, I beat the second game. Now, after all those years waiting for the dang Kingdom Hearts game to... I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. And I had a PS3 at the time. It's been making me wait for so dang long. Until I found these. I was so surprised I decided to buy them. I got these. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix. And all 3 games are in this one. Kingdom Hearts, the first game. Of course, the final mix. And Kingdom Heart Re-Chain of Memories. And Kingdom Heart 358/2 days. It's supposed to be telling the story about Roxas when he became the Organization 13 and his friend Axel and this mysterious girl who turns out to be Kairi's nobody. And also, well, Kairi's Heartless, to be precise. While there's a blonde girl named Naminé who is Kairi's Heartless. Or nobody, or I get confused. And then they made this one. 2.5 remix of Kingdom Heart. This one has Kingdom Heart 2 and this backstory of how this whole thing happened. And it tells a bit of the backstory about Xehanort, voiced by the late, great Leonard Nimoy, called Kingdom Heart, The Birth by Sleep. And then there is this other one called Kingdom Heart Recoded. Probably may not be that good. And now I hear there's another Nintendo DS Kingdom Heart game, and I don't have a Nintendo DS at all. And that sucked. And now I'm waiting to see if I get myself a PlayStation 4 and wait for the new Kingdom Heart game to come. I mean, I heard that there's this new Kingdom Heart game called Kingdom Heart 2.5 or 2.8. And it says it's a final chapter. Sorry. Almost spit. And also, and now I hear that there's other Kingdom Heart games coming really soon. So I hope these Kingdom Heart games are better. And believe it or not, I'm playing a Kingdom Heart game on my tablet right here. This tablet that I'm using right now. There's a new Kingdom Heart game called Kingdom Heart Unchained. And one thing that's really cool about it is that you can make your own character and go through your entire Kingdom Heart journey. Meet all the Disney characters, help all the Disney characters, battle against a bunch of Heartless, Nobody, and whatnot. But I have this, folks. One thing I have to say. If they're going along with this Kingdom Heart 3, I drew this picture, and I thought this would be good. At least have 2 more characters from Final Fantasy that Sora would meet. And I drew a picture of this one. Sora should meet Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, and this Noctis character from another Final Fantasy. Don't know which number, but I'll get back to you on that one. I just thought it'd be cool if Sora met these 2 characters in the Final Fantasy world. And another thing I have to add about Kingdom Heart, excuse me, this one I made up here. Here's one world I think Halloween Town should have. Right here. They found the Haunted Mansion. Sora saying, "Jack, what's that big house next to Halloween Town?" And Jack's skeleton would say, "Oh, that's the Haunted Mansion. It disappeared by the Heartless, but now it's back." And Sora said, "Well, let's check it out." And here's this picture I drew. The Haunted Mansion in Kingdom Heart. There's Jack, Sora, Donald, and Goofy. And there's the Haunted Mansion. Madam, that crystal ball girl from the Haunted Mansion should be in there. Witch Hazel, the Mad Scientist, and the Phantom Blot. Thought they should add more Disney villains in the Haunted Mansion. Because I love the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I never been to the Haunted Mansion, but I would love to be there. But now I hear that they're going to plan for Kingdom Heart to cross over the Star Wars universe. To me, no. 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 I mean, I would enjoy playing Kingdom Heart, but I just don't want them to cross over with Star Wars or Marvel. I mean, I know they're owned by Disney, but I just don't want to see those characters meet Sora, Donald, and Goofy in their journey. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all. And that's just my thing. Anyway, folks, for those of you who don't have a PS2, try out these games here. Or if any of you have a tablet, you could try out that Kingdom Hearts Unchained. It's really fun. Not bad at all. Well, anywho, this is Oz the Great and Powerful. Telling you all to leave a comment down below, hit like, subscribe. Oh, and for those of you who wants to know why my videos ain't on Facebook, it turns out my video has been getting way too long, and now Facebook is refusing for me to upload my videos on Facebook, so now I'm stuck with YouTube. Hey, at least I can share it. Share it from YouTube to Facebook. So, see you soon.